All right, so boom, 5 artists I listen to for one song. We all have artists that we listen to where the artist may have like a wide catalog of music, like filled with a lot of great songs, but like you only really catch yourself listening to the same one or a few songs by them. Sometimes it's either you just never bothered to listen to the other music, or you have and you just like this one song so much that that's all you really care to hear. So for this video, like I'm kind of stretching the title a little bit. For each of these artists, there are a couple of songs by them that I rock with, but more times than not, if you catch me listening to a song by this person, it will be the one that I'm highlighting here in this list. So for example, I'm highlighting the song Volcanoes Erupt by Zachariah, but I actually listen to all of their music. Check out the song Volcanoes Erupt on Spotify and go to all of Zachariah's social media for more music. But let's get going, y'all. Let's get straight into the video.
Why it's always what you like. It's always what you like.
I don't know if some of you guys were expecting Old Town Road to be the song from Lil Nas X, but that's actually a song I pretty much never listened to. Yeah, it was inescapable for a long ass time and you always heard it everywhere you went. But on my own free will, I pretty much never listened to Old Town Road. Closure, on the other hand, is a song I actually enjoy for its sound. I heard the song for the first time when Lil Nas X dropped his 7 EP, and I was seeing a lot of hate for that project. I don't know where the hate was coming from because there isn't a single bad song on here. Back to Closure though, this was the main song where, like I said, the sound of it really got me hooked. It's like it's always what you like. That was surprisingly catchy. Now, this is actually the song that Lil Nas X urged everyone to pay close attention to the lyrics because this was essentially his coming out song and him telling everyone that he was part of the LGBTQ community. Some people didn't care, some people started liking him more, some people started disliking him. But hey, I'm one of them people who didn't give a damn. I don't listen to this man's music and the only song I care about is this one solely because it sounds good. So he told me to pay attention to the lyrics. I didn't think nothing of it. But one thing I'm actually curious about, if you somebody where you didn't like the 7 EP, I legitimately want to hear why, because I understand if like there were songs on there that wasn't your style, not the type of music you listen to, but to say the entire project is like flat out bad, I don't know where the heck y'all getting that from. So let me know if you were one of the people that hated the project. I actually got to hear this. I actually remember the moment I heard this song as well. It was back when I was in college and I went to see one of my homies that was studying in his dorm room. As soon as I walked in, I heard the I instantly went like, hold on, this song sounds smooth. What song is this? My boy told me the song was They Know by Luke Christopher. He immediately tried to tell me other songs that Luke Christopher had as well, saying, hey man, this dude cold, let me show you some other songs of his. And I just stopped him right there, like, nah, bro, I'm straight. This song is good enough. This story happened a few years ago, by the way. Now, the song They Know is a relationship song with Luke telling his current girlfriend that because he has a little fame and because of who he is, he's going to have girls who will flirt with him and try to throw themselves at him. And Luke is telling his girl, at the end of the day, these girls won't get anywhere with me no matter how hard they try because they know that I'm with you. And that's why he says in the chorus, they can send me them dirty pictures. I know they're gonna grab on me in the club. I know they're gonna wink whenever I'm with you. I know they're gonna try, but there's nothing they could do because they know I fuck with you. So yeah, it's a cool little relationship song. And as I mentioned, it's really catchy. Other than They Know, there's really only like 2 songs I listen to from this man. One being the Alphabet song. It's one of them rap songs where like every verse is him rapping from A to Z with words that start with each letter. And this hook sounds really good too. The second song is called The Material, and this nigga has a weird obsession of using children as background vocals in the hooks for his song. Now, as time went on, I started to get a particular vibe from Luke Christopher. After looking him up and trying to get into his other music, He's one of those rappers that everyone says is underrated, and he's pretty much going to stay in that realm of underrated artists. Like, he's never had a hit song, and he's not going to blow up until he does. I guess the only hit song he's had was his song Lot to Learn, which dropped on YouTube back in January 2016, and it's sitting at 26 million views now. But everything else he drops is something that only his core fan base listen to, and unfortunately that's not that many people. Rico Nasty is the first person on this list where I legitimately only listened to one song. I couldn't even fucking tell you the name of 2 other Rico Nasty songs. I don't listen to this woman at all. Y'all can say I'm sleeping on her if y'all want, like, whatever. But this track right here, Time Flies, I can actually let y'all know how I came across this song. I don't remember the exact video I was watching on YouTube, but it came up in my recommended, and what caught my eye was the thumbnail. Now, I don't know how y'all taste is and this type of artwork, but for me, I absolutely loved it off the first glance because it reminded me of my favorite video game ever. My number 1 favorite video game of all time is this game called Jet Set Radio Future. In the game, you're like part of a rollerblading like street crew, and you have to go to different hoods and spray graffiti, get into fights with the ops. Like, the game is really dope up until you beat the story mode and unlock all the characters. Then the replay value just shoots straight down to 0. But this game has like cel shaded graphics, and the artwork is super similar to the thumbnail of Rico Nasty's song. That's why I clicked on it. I ended up staying for the full song itself though, because Rico did a great job here. The song is essentially Rico talking about how much she enjoys her life, how she never thought that with the life she had growing up that she would go on to be a popular rapper, seeing herself on TV and magazines. She also touches on how she doesn't really aspire to be nobody else because she's gotten so many blessings from being herself unapologetically. And regardless of her haters, like, she's always hustled to get what she wants. Funny enough, back to the video game shit, like, apparently this song was on the soundtrack of Madden 20, and I saw that from people in the comment section of the song. I wouldn't know about that because I haven't played a Madden game since 2012 because I became ass. Like, back in like the 2000s and the PS2 and like GameCube days, like, I was a monster. I used to be able to beat the computer on all Madden, but I went from that to getting my ass beat by like the Cleveland Browns back when their team overall was like 11. Like, I'm ass. I've been ass at Madden for years, so I just stopped playing that shit. Anyway, Time Flies is dope as hell, and if Rico got more songs that sound like this, like, definitely send them my way. I'm not gonna listen to them though, I just say that to be nice.
So we kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, coast.
Now, Lupe Fiasco was someone that always gets regarded as one of the best lyricists of all time. I've been hearing this for many years, specifically this song called Mural. Eventually I will have to see what the fuss is about with that song, but that song is a shining example I see everybody talk about when the topic of Lupe's skill come up. Regardless, I've just never really cared about other hit songs that Lupe has, like Daydreaming with Jill Scott, The Show Goes On, Superstar. I don't listen to any of those tracks. The only song of his that I care about is his very first single, Kick Push. For one, the beat on this song is like marvelous and iconic, but this is also one of my favorite storytelling songs, with every verse talking about the young bull when he first learned how to skateboard, from the second verse where he ended up getting him a girlfriend who loved the sport as much as he did, and the final verse talking about hanging out with his crew that he was a part of. All of the verses had good rhymes and they pushed the story along nicely. For some reason, people assume that this song is a double entendre about like hustling in the streets, like being a drug dealer, and Lupe has even said himself that that's not the case and he don't know where people was getting that from. It's also crazy how Lupe has gone on to say that he was a little bit annoyed that he was being looked at as an icon by skateboarders because this song was so important and meaningful to their culture. Because this was his very first single and the very first song millions of people heard by him, he became known as that rapper that makes skateboarding music. And he didn't like that was people's immediate reaction. Nevertheless, Kick Push has always been one of the best songs in rap history, and I'm sure Lupe has a lot of great songs. But I think what's stopping me from listening to more is I don't want to listen to a rapper where most of his songs are where you have to think like very hard to understand the lyrics. I need half complex and half like simple, like ignorant tracks. But the impression I get from Lupe fans is that you need a degree from fucking Yale to understand his lyrics, and I'm not going through all that.
Tolerance when your age don't exist, like whoa.
For people that have been watching my channel for a long time, like, y'all know y'all shouldn't be surprised by this because I've always said it. But since I always get new people to the channel, I feel like it's something I have to reiterate. I have never listened to any of Kendrick Lamar's albums. From Section 80 all the way to Damn, Kendrick is someone I always see getting praised for being one of the best rappers of the generation, pretty much. And I always hear that and just go, huh, okay, that's cool, that's cool. It's never made me go, like, oh, really? Like, this guy is considered the best? Let me listen to his discography then, see what the hype is about. But ADHD, I remember first just hearing Kendrick's melodies on the hook. The spacey vibe of the beat definitely adds to the chill vibe the song has too. And then, of course, like since Kendrick was born in the late 80s, that was the era of the crack epidemic, and anyone born in the hood at that time was considered a crack baby. Along with that, he talks about the attention deficiency that kids from that time have. He showcases this in the second verse with the girl that he's spending time with, how he metaphorically says that the girl was starting to open up to him. So he could have possibly had sex with the girl, but that's when he says, "There's nothing we can do now if somebody walked in with the pound." With that lyric, he was saying how the girl immediately got distracted when somebody walked in with some weed. And that just plays into the attention disorder that the song is about. The song overall does a great job just talking about the effects of ADHD and being someone who has to live with that deficiency. All in all, Kendrick has a lot of amazing songs. I've listened to tracks like The Art of Peer Pressure, Everyone Has Heard Swimming Pools, but just like I've been saying, I've just never been interested in listening to his other songs, especially not a full album. People can say all they want that Kendrick is the greatest of the generation or that To Pimp a Butterfly is a top 5 album of all time, but hearing those things doesn't make me want to listen to it. If you ever catch me listening to a Kendrick Lamar song, 9 times out of 10 it would be ADHD. It's my favorite song by him, but that's not saying much since that's the only song I could have listened to.
Alto, alto, hip it, alto.